Hi everybody, it's Lord Magicus, and we're going to play more Mono Blue Devotion in Pioneer. Alright, so our innovation for this time that I really want to test is Witching Well. So Witching Well, yeah, it's an artifact for 1 blue. When it comes into the battlefield, you scry 2 and you can pay 4 to draw 2 cards with it. Now, one of the weaknesses that we've had in our list that it makes me interested in this is that we don't really have a lot of good 1-drops in this deck. Like Benthic Biomancer, Siren Storm Tamer, and maybe Cloudfin Raptor are the only things that we might want in this deck, but I'm not sure what we want to do with it yet. The thing is, like, Raptor was really bad when we had Copter in the deck, but maybe this is worth testing at some point. But I think one of the things that has bothered me, though, is without Copter, getting either mana screwed or mana flooded, and I think the Scry 2 off of this Witching Well can really help with that, while at the same time in the late game, if we don't have any gas left in hand, it can draw 2 cards for us. And it's a 1-drop, and it also adds a blue devotion to the board, which is hard to get rid of because it is an artifact. So, like, creature removal is not going to get rid of it. So the cool thing is, like, with 1 Well and 1 Thassa on the board, you actually do have one card you can draw that, like, turns Thassa on. So yeah, a Well, a Jin, like, those two are enough to just activate Thassa like that. So that can be relevant because if you play, like, Well and then like a Trickster and then Thassa and then like kill your Trickster, this still gives you an option that like Thassa can be turned back online the next turn. So might be relevant. But yeah, the fact that, like I said, it's hard to get rid of Devotion. It draws us cards in the late game when we're running out of gas, and yeah, it just fits on our curve pretty nicely. I think that it's worth trying. I don't know if it's definitely going to be the card that we want. I don't know if we even want all 4 of them, but I think that it doesn't seem terrible in principle, so let's see how it does. The only other thing I changed really is I added an extra Sorceress Spyglass and 2 Ratchet Bombs to the sideboard. I think these are better generic catch-all answers, so I'm just gonna try them and see how it works. Like, this Ratchet Bomb's probably really good against decks like Hardened Scales or like the Ensoul deck, things like that. Even against like Elves or anything that's playing a lot of 1s, or the Field of the Dead deck, it also is effectively a sweeper against them. Seems relevant. Like, there's not really a whole lot else that I'd put here. Maybe like Aetherize is a card that you could play in this slot, but let's try this. We'll see how it goes. Otherwise, I'm not going to change much else. I put 22 lands in. Since we're going to have access to the Scry 2 off of this, maybe we can afford to play 22, and then we can either scry more or less to the bottom as necessary with the Wells. Yeah, and I'm down to 2 sprites. I'm going to keep the Wizard's Retort. I think that this card is fine. There's a world, though, where maybe we want the Disallows instead of the Retorts, but I think this is okay. We still have our Sirens, our Harbingers, and our Tricksters to keep this active. And even on, like, turn 6, like, Retort plus Master Waves is not off the table either, so. Alright, we'll try it like this and see how it goes. Yes. Alright, let's get going. I know some other people have been interested in seeing how Well does, so this will be educational for everyone. It's something I hope that it works well, and I'm just playing all 4 of them because I really want to like see its effect. Maybe we don't want all 4, but maybe like 2 or 3 is the number we end up playing if we play them. Who knows? So I guess we're gonna find out. But it's definitely something I don't mind playing in turn 1 if it means that it helps us, curve out better. Let's see. Oh my god, 18 trophies already? What an absolute monster. It was 18, 17, 15, and then 10. Ugh. How do you have that much time? Okay, well, they are on the play, so we're in the draw here, but I think this is a pretty decent hand. We'll keep this. We can play our Siren Storm Tamer and then turn to play our Witching Well if we want. Oh god. No, this is a fucking Oko deck, isn't it? So yeah, you know what? We need to play this so we can have Wizard's Retort online, but if they play Oko right now, like, shit's gonna get really bad. Yep, here it comes. Oh, Heart of Karen. Okay, you know what? We can theoretically deal with this. We'll attack and see if he does anything. Okay, they're gonna block. That's fine. I have no tricks. I'm definitely holding up this Wizard's Retort this turn. Because if they play a Planeswalker, I need to counter it. This Heart of Karen is a huge problem. Alright. Wicked Wolf. Actually, you know what? That's also worth countering. Because that can crew the heart. Let's play the Well. We'll get our Scry too. Oh, that's interesting. Because we really kind of want this island, but at the same time, I really want this Wizard's Retort. I think I'm going to just keep them as is. I want to draw the island next turn. And we can Harbinger this back to their hand. And I'm kind of inclined to do that right now while I have the opportunity. So it keeps them from casting another 4-mana spell at the moment if they don't have another land. Okay. And then we also have the option to Trickster and Borrower next turn now. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to use Trickster off. Yeah, I think I'm going to Trickster this in their upkeep. We also have the option to Borrower and bounce this Heart of Karen. Yeah. Which I think we're going to do because I really want to be able to go after this thing. Glorybringer. Oh god. Yeah. So, one option I have, if I bounce the Royal Scions, I can actually counter it next turn. But I think I'd rather counter the Heart of Karen. Here, I'm just going to attack Royal Scions. Why is my exile zone the same as his? This is stupid. I don't want to see his, I just want to know mine. Yeah, if they just replay it, I'm going to counter it. That's all there is to it. And then, yeah, if they play the Bone Crusher Giant, then I can just cast Borrower and kill the Royal Scions with that. But there's also a point at which I could theoretically just try to kill them. At 12 life, that's not a whole lot, but I don't want to give them chances to find lands because they have stuff like Glorybringer in their hand, which is ridiculously dangerous. Okay, Goose is loose. They could throw away 2 gooses now if they want to protect Scions. That is actually great. So now we can play Thassa. We'll make Trickster unblockable, and then we'll attack them. They might have Wild Slash, but I'm hoping that they don't. Yep. Okay, that's a good sign. They're in a lot of danger right now. I think we're not quite killing them next turn, but we're pretty close. And there's a good chance if we don't draw a land, we might crack the well and then try to draw one and then just make Thassa unblockable. So far, we've weathered the storm pretty well because they haven't had enough mana to Glorybringer us. But I think at this point, we're going after their life total instead of anything else. That's not really that good. So does this actually help us right now? I think not this turn, because we can still cast Borrower and make Thassa unblockable. I'm going to put this in the bottom. That is actually very good. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I cast Master of Waves, that does threaten to just like end the game by itself. And I don't know if they have a way of dealing. I guess they could have like another Wicked Wolf or something. What are they going to do if I just cast Borrower and make Thassa unblockable? Like, they still might not have a good answer to that. So I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, now I think they're just screwed. Because this threatens to kill them, and yeah, alright. Okay, well, that was kind of scary, but fortunately we managed to get out of range fast enough where we could just kill them. They got stuck on mana, so that helped. Tidebinder Mage seems like it's fantastic here. Let's see. I don't know about Hypnotic Sprite. This seems like this card might be a little bit weak here. Counterspells, I mean, Wizard's Retort seems fine. Dispute is sort of okay, but yeah, they're playing stuff like Wicked Wolf. I also have like Glorybringer too. I mean, Spyglass is not terrible necessarily, but there's a lot of red cards in this deck. The only thing that sucks is the Wolf can kill Master of Waves. On the other hand, like, that might be the only thing they have that kill it. I mean, I guess they could have Oko. Maybe Master of Waves is not really what we want to be doing. We have a pretty strong ground game. Maybe we should just take advantage of that. Spyglass, they have a bunch of Planeswalkers, and oh, you know what? Okay, do we have to cut one more thing then? Because there's definitely an argument to bring in more disallows. Yeah, this also hits Heart of Karen. That's very relevant. Maybe Harbinger's not quite as good. Their stuff has haste. The Harbinger's usually not very strong against that. Alright. You know what? We're going to play a more grindy game like this. Tidebinder is very strong because it can stop stuff like Glorybringer from hitting us repeatedly. Trickster is also good at stopping that. Siren Stormtamer is good at like preventing that from happening. Yeah. There's an argument that maybe Master Waves is fine, but I'm going to try it like this. We're going to try to stay like low to the ground and control-y. That is a lot of blue mana symbols in our deck. Alright. This seems fine. We'll keep it. And we don't need to necessarily play Storm Tamer to start off with. Alright, so Once Upon a Time. This card is stupid. You know what? No. I was going to say I don't know why this card's not banned in this format, but I think everybody actually knows the answer to this question is because it's still in print and standard right now. It's still from Thrones, and as long as that's the case, that's going to continue to be like that. So I want to be able to draw lands for the next, like, 2 turns. So let's try to make sure there's lands on top. Ooh, that's not bad. So, next turn, we probably want to play Siren Stormtamer and hold... I don't know if we need another well. I think I'm going to put that one on the bottom and that one on the top. I actually might want to play Spyglass depending on what they do as well. Because this also, yeah, they can also threaten to just stop us too, so this is actually a very good turn to do this. I don't want to expose Stormtamer to, or like Tidebinder to removal. It does not stop you from doing this, so I don't know what that point... Yeah, I don't think that was a reasonable play there, like... Yeah, Oko. Okay, so what do we got? So they have Sanctum, Breeding Pool, Oko. Okay, I should actually make a note of this. Alright, I don't usually have to do this, but with Spyglass, it seems reasonable. Alright, let me just add my notes here. Alright, so they do have a bunch of removal, and if they just play this next turn, then we can Tidebinder it down. Okay, but we're 100% naming Oko with this. Yeah, good call on that, because Oko is another answer to Master of Waves. So Master is probably not as strong here, because I'm guessing they have at least 8 answers to it. Even if it dodges this, there's still enough stuff that it misses, so I'm just going to cast this. Yeah, that's fine. We can... That's actually almost better, because... Let's see. We can get them to spend a roast on the Tidebinder. Yeah, that's okay. And we'll play Stormtamer this turn, too. So they played Botanical Sanctum. Okay, so he has 2 Breeding Pools left in hand. So 1 Breeding Pool. I'm going to roast this, I assume. Yep. Scavenging Ooze. That's fine. This is really tough as to whether I want to tap down Ooze or this thing. I think I'm inclined to keep the Bone Crusher tapped down for now. There's only 1 creature in the graveyard at the moment. We can use Tricksters to tap this down later. So far, so good. Yeah, I'm not blocking this. Okay, so what do you got? So they did not draw the dragon. That's good. So they just have Oko left in hand. So really, we would like to draw a land so we can play Tempest Djinn and keep it protected with the Storm Tamer. We have 3 cards still, like, so 2 that we don't know about. Wild Slash. Counter it. Well, it's not ideal, but may as well attack. Get in our damage. We'll Trickster down the ooze this time. Yeah, it's going to be a 4/4. They have 1, so now they're up to 2 mystery cards in hand and an Oko. Uh-oh. Alright, they played the Oko, that's fine. So we still have 2 cards we don't know about. I could kill the Oko, but I'm really not that worried about it at the moment because I have another Spyglass in hand. So here's an up. I could play Djinn here and then just take a hit off of this. I think that it's probably worth doing that. And then from the future on, we'll be able to hold up these 2. Now if he attacks us, I think we're winning this race. For sure. Okay, that's good. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, they are not winning this at all. Like, I think if we counter their next thing, they probably are dead. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that wasn't that bad. Spyglass did some work, and we actually got to see the Witching Well help us out a little bit too. It might have been a little bit greedy to put the other Witching Well on the bottom, because maybe we wanted to scry with it to find the lands quicker, but I think that was fine. I think being able to ensure that we had control to draw another land was critical that game. Did exactly what we wanted it to do. And we never got to the point where we were out of cards and needed to sack it for a card draw, but that was okay. I think that makes me feel good about it. Like, it's not a total waste of a card at the moment. And one other thing that's worth noting is that the Scry 2 helps you find your sideboard cards a lot faster as well. So if there is something like Oko on the board, and you have like 3 lands up, you can go like Witching Well, try to find that Spyglass, and then get it out as quickly as possible to stop it from killing you. So, alright, well, we are on the play this time, so let's do it. So Edward 40 hands? Okay. I guess this is okay. We have some plays. We can keep it. Glooming Marsh, okay, so there's lots of bad things that this could be. Fatal Push, okay. That's not that bad. Still going to play another one. And the next turn, we have islands up, so we can play Trickster and Protected, or we can bounce something. Yeah. Okay, so My guess is this is the Whip of Erebus deck, or like the, or I guess they play like what, the Delirium stuff in it too. So what did he take? He put Swamp in his hand. Okay. So here. Oh, this is carving out nicely. So if this thing decides to get frisky, at some point we can just Trickster and block it. It's just an easy way to put Devotion on board. The next turn we can play Jin and protect it, which is always nice. They have to kill this before they can go after our Jin. Yeah, I didn't think you were going to do that. That's fine. I don't really want to bounce their stuff at the moment, so let's just tap it down. So, I'm going to counter this. No, I can't actually. If I do counter this, okay, so I'll show you exactly what happens. The thing is, they're targeting this, so they are going to get to cast the Rider. If I target this, because there won't be a thing in play at the point where it resolves, so it's not going to do anything. What? Oh, okay, well, never mind, then I guess. No, it's a different scenario. Okay, so if there are two targets to something, yeah, and you try to Siren Storm Tamer it, then it's, I think, a problem. It's weird. There is the scenario in which if they target Storm Tamer with something and you counter it, like, it doesn't do anything, but sorry. Alright, it's fine, because I'd rather have this in the graveyard. Yeah, I don't want them casting it. Alright, well, it worked out favorably for us that time. I have to look it up. I know there's a scenario in which if you do that, it doesn't work the way you really want it to, but that's just life sometimes. And we might be casting this Witching Well looking for, or drawing some cards soon. Ooh, okay, so I'm going to put this on the bottom, and I think I'm going to put this on top, because that is a powerhouse card. Yeah, because this is a really strong clock at the moment. Traverse. Yep, they have instant land, sorcery, creature. So they can probably get Spider Daddy. Or Spider Mommy, I guess. No, they're going to get Murderous Rider. They're going to kill off Tempest Shin. That makes sense. Yeah. Well, what they don't know is we have another one. Yeah, you may as well be attacking if you're not blocking, so... So let's attack first. Surprise! This is still very much pressuring your life total. And then next turn we have the option, if we draw a land, we can maybe do both of these things. Or we can just flash it in without bouncing anything. Or we can just draw two cards, because drawing two cards and getting another island increases our clock by a little bit. And then we'll get to attack for 7 damage, possibly. Probably not, because I think they're going to play this, but who knows. And I'm definitely not bouncing that. That can't happen. Okay. Put a forest in hand. Okay. Is this only? Yeah, it is only a land, so. Yep. Okay, so I think here there's a very good chance we're going to draw two cards, but I don't know, maybe the putting Borrower in play is actually better. I might also need to counter a spell. Who knows? We have options. That's the nice thing here. Because I'm not bouncing this, that's for sure. So they're going to go up to 11 if they attack. Yeah. Massacre Girl. I don't like how this is going at all. I think that's going to kill off everything. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, I can't stop it from killing this. I think it's just going to wipe the entire board. So here where I think I'm just going to bounce or play a Brazen Borrower probably. Actually, no. This is worth countering because this gets them the Spider with the Delirium. I assume that's in their deck, and it's definitely not something I want them playing this turn. I could cast this and cast this one. It might be in my best interest to do that. Because I just need to keep pressure on. This is definitely not something I'm bouncing. Like, this is just getting played as a 3-1 at this point. Yeah, Liliana is pretty strong. Ooh, interesting. I'm getting Murderous Rider back. I'm kind of surprised they didn't just plus and kill off a Sprite. That seems like maybe that would have been stronger. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so we're not blocking this. Alright, well, they misclicked. That's part of the... That's just part of the game. Like, we've definitely had our share of misclicks in this channel. You had a very good chance. I don't know if it was definitely game over, but it was probably pretty close. We're gonna kill this thing. Alright, if they don't do anything, I'm just gonna flash in a 3-1 flyer. This is taking up too much space. Might have another Fatal Push. No? Okay. Cannot counter that. Oh, you know what? I probably should have cracked this in case I drew a 1-drop. I mean, he might still win this game, though. That's certainly an option for him. But we're drawing 2 cards here. Yeah, I can't afford to be countering that at the moment. That might help. We still can't block this. Yeah, okay. You take my Wizard's Retort. Alright, we need something here. That's not something. That is something. So let's see what happens. I can afford to take one more hit off of this. So I think what I'm gonna... I'm gonna let him attack. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Yeah, like, I don't know, it was hard to play around that. Like, I don't think that there was really anything I had to try to get greedy there to catch up at that point, so that's just all there was to that. So we want disallow, I think. I don't know about master. Master could be okay, but at the same time, the black decks actually do have some amount of removal, like Assassin's Trophy and sometimes Fatal Push, maybe even Collective Brutality that can get rid of this. It is very strong, but it's like Massacre Girl is also very good at killing this too. So I'm going to say Master is not what we want. Let's see what else. Maybe a Spyglass. I think the counterspells are fine. Tidebinder Mage is also sort of okay. I'm going to take the Spyglass. Question is, do I want a second one or not? It's hard to say. I don't know how many Planeswalkers they have in their deck. I mean, I think one, it's just... I could bring in more, but I don't know if there's any of the rest of these cards I want to take out, to be honest. I think we just have to go like this and hope for the best. Okay. I would love to be on the play. This is not particularly a good hand, especially against the Thoughtseize deck. They're just going to take our Jin and we die. I really don't want to keep this, but at the same time, like, I don't know what else we're going to do here. Put lands on top and hope for the best, I guess. Witching Well's going to do what we need it to do, hopefully. I will put Brazen Borrower on the bottom. Bouncing their cards is not particularly the best because a lot of them have enter the battlefield effects. Alright, let's scry some lands to the top. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So here's the question. Are there going to be lands in the top 3 cards of our deck? Alright, here's where we find out that we're just losing game. Yeah, okay. Fuck. I mean, yeah, it was definitely a gamble, but I just don't want to go to 5 cards. Like, that just seems even worse. Yep. This, I do think this card is probably getting banned as soon as it's not. As soon as, like, Theros comes out, they'll ban this card. Probably not before then, though. I don't see that happening. I mean, I think the Witching Well really gave us a chance on this mulligan, but this was brutal. We went 5 lands into 1 land, like, that is a very... fuck. Alright, well, we're dead. Like, this is just losing. So, yeah. So now, there are no lands in the top 4. Ugh. Yeah, like, if he just plays like Liliana, we die. Tireless Tracker, that almost does the same thing too. Alright, now we're dead. We're not, like, that's too much. They just play lands and we are never catching up to that. Alright, well, I mean, that sucks. But, alright, let's try to get on with it. It was an unfortunate game too. Okay, well, it looked like we were going to here we go. Andy S.C. Wilson. Alright. Yes. This is a fine hand. It's got a nice curve. Wandering Fumarole, huh? That's interesting. See what happens. I might just flash in Trickster. It keeps the retort alive. If they want to kill this, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. We're in a situation where we have a good chance to use Sprite here. We just need them to cast a spell. Okay, well, instead we'll just add more power to the board. Again, if they're using removal on these things, I'm not really that bothered by it. Okay. Well, it seems unlikely they're going to be able to deal with this. If their main interaction is like, is it Charm, then and stuff maybe like Wild Slash or Lightning, was it Lightning Axe? Like, does not line up very well against Master plus his Elemental army. And like, if we untap, then there's almost no chance that he's ever getting rid of it. Champion of Wits, okay. So this is the Emerge deck, I take it? Are they just playing like, is it Emerge? Yeah, okay, so yeah, it's Blue-Red Eldrazi. I think we played a similar version of this deck. Yeah, let's just get in. Let's clock them while we have the opportunity. Retort is still up because of Master of Waves. Okay, well, Fumarole cannot become a creature this turn. That might do it. There's no need to get greedy here. We have Retort online still. Alright. Master of Waves easily crushing this match. Okay, so against this deck, I think Disallow is going to be good. Actually, Dispute might be very good too. Master is actually fine here. What's not fine? I mean, I think all of these cards are honestly pretty good against them. Maybe we don't need all the Disallows. We have to take out 3 cards for these mystical disputes. I don't like taking out 2 drops, but we really don't. I don't want to take out too many of those. So let's see. They do have stuff like Kozilek's Return, though. That is worth noting. So Kozilek's Return does threaten to wipe us out. Maybe Harbinger's not really that good here. This is fine. We'll just do it like this. There's definitely an argument that Master of Waves, like maybe we don't want all 4 of them. We can take it out for more counter spells. I think we have the tools to play like a control-y kind of game and just jam Master once the shields are down. Kind of want to, you know, the threat of Kozilek's Return means maybe it's not that good. I think this hand's fine. We'll keep it and we'll scry away any lands. If I play Storm Tamer, there's a good chance that they might just kill it. No, they can use Is It Charm to kill the, or they can counter the Witching Well, though. So let's do this first. Land on the bottom. However, Retort can stay on top. I'm not going to play both of them this turn because I don't want to run both of them out into a Kozilek's Return. And next turn I still have the option to play Storm Tamer and hold up Retort. Or if I want to, I can just play Thassa. I'm probably just going to play Thassa. Oh, he's missing land drops. That's great. Because now we can ensure that we're just going to draw gas. Draw 2, discard 2. Okay, that's fine. Okay, Borrower. I mean, I still need to find more land drops. Yeah, okay. Next turn, we can actually just play Island, play Thassa, and then have a counter up. Alright, it's fine. I said this resolves, damn it. Probably just flash in Trickster this turn. They can't really threaten us with tempo if they don't actually do anything, so... Bottom. That's good. I could play Hypnotic Sprite here, and if I do, that turns Thassa on. I think it's probably safer just to hold on to both of these. You know, just keep... We're going to play the tempo game now. Our board state is better. That is very good. What is your plan here? That doesn't seem very good. Yeah, they're in a lot of danger right now. K-Return doesn't really do much. They don't. I guess yeah, they have to deal with like Jin and Thassa, and like the threat of like these two is just insane. Yeah, okay, and they're still stuck in 3 lands. Like I think we easily win. All right, well, yeah, that was pretty good. Like our opponent got mana screwed in the second game, but they had a bunch of tempo tools, and I don't think it really mattered because our tempo tools were just better. I think maybe it would have been correct though for us to side out Master Waves. The more I think about it, the more I realize like playing Master on a board full of Devotion and not having a counterspell just does not seem like a good plan when they have sweepers that they can play at instant speed. So I think if I was going to redo that, I'd probably take out Master Waves and bring in the Disallows instead, and like keep one more Harbinger for the extra slot. Yeah, that probably would have been the call. But I mean, that match seems like that should be pretty favorable to us in general. Alright, well, we're on the draw for this one. I think the Witching Well is doing a pretty good job so far. It's definitely smoothing us out. This is a very dangerous hand, but at the same time, like, we have a bunch of 2s, and let's see, we're on the draw, so we get to draw 1 card for free, and then we get to scry 2. So we have another land in the top 4 cards. I think we're good. So I'm going to keep it. Pelt Collector, okay. So I think, yeah, this is a match where Harbinger seems like it would be pretty strong. I'm going to put this in the bottom and this on the top. Okay. Let's just bounce this and this thing can trade with that, that's fine. So now we can start to fix our draws towards the late game. Let's put on the bottom and put on top. So I'm going to probably flash in Trickster. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I have to let it hit me. This is sort of a problem, but alright, let's do this. Bounce the Pelt collector. Yes. Let's just put Hypnotic Sprite out so we can try to trade with this board. No attacks. Yeah. Can't afford to be taking the damage, so we're doing it like this. Ooh. Let's put on the bottom and put on the top. So we might be able to stabilize here. Okay. They have no cards in hand. This is getting dangerous. That attack might have been too greedy. And this thing can get hexproof until end of turn. That sucks. I don't think I really want to block right now. That was a very good draw for them. And I think I'm on blocking duty, and we're just going to sacrifice a Witching Well to try to draw a card. Alright, if we can live till next turn, this is a very good sequence. We probably have to, like, block and block. Yeah, that sucks. It's not the worst, though. Jin can block here, and Harbinger can block here. They have no cards in hand, so honestly, it doesn't really matter which one they take. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know if this is really what you want to do. You're just... So let's see. If I block here with Jin, they are threatening to just, like, double evolve it. I can kill off this thing. But I have to block both of these. So the matter is, which one do I want to kill? If I block off this, then I trade with that. Yeah, I think that the better thing to do is like this. I don't know. I think keeping the extra Jin on the board might make more sense. No. Because this has to be... So I guess that the problem comes down to, like, if they draw another creature, then this is going to double evolve, and so is this. No, or you know what? No, that's actually a problem no matter what. So yeah, this is going to get bigger as well. So I think this is correct. All right, I have to do it this way. Yeah. And we're just hoping they don't draw another creature this turn. That's gonna do it. Oh, sure, fine. Yeah, we'll let them do it. Alright, well, we almost managed to stabilize, but not quite. Alright, they got it. I can only block 2 things. Ah, damn it, that's rough. So Master of Waves seems like it's going to be very important to this. Tidebinder Mage seems extremely important. Brazen Borrower, not really. It's sort of what I want to be doing, but also not really at the same time. And Harbinger, again, is sort of what I want to be doing, but it's not really at the same time. Yeah, maybe this is not... I don't know, like... This might not be a Thassa match. It's hard to say. So we have to take out 4 cards. What comes out? Trickster is a... Like, all the Tempo Bears seem fine, but... I really don't like taking out Brazen Borrower. Alright. Maybe I have to. What about this? The Storm Tamer. Is this really worth anything? They could have removal spells, I guess. Maybe the Storm Tamer is the worst thing. Alright, I'm gonna, I guess, run it like this. Actually, you know what? The Ratchet Bombs on 1 seem very good, too. So maybe I can take out 2 of these. What's worth more, the Hypnotic Sprite or the Borrower? Maybe this isn't that good. Because the Ratchet Bomb on 1 blows up most of their creatures and the Hardened Scales. Ah, this hand's fine. Keep. Yep. This is one of those curve into Master Waves and you probably win hands. I guess the ideal thing to draw this turn would be like Tempest Shin. Okay, not bad. Ooh, that's strong. I don't want to bounce this, though. Actually, I guess let's play this first. Maybe that will affect our decision, who knows. I'm gonna put that in the bottom, but Thassa is fine on top. No. So the plan is slam Master of Waves, get 6 tokens, and then play Thassa. And yeah, Thassa will be alive. And very scary. And then the turn after that, we can just use Witching Well to draw some cards. And we're hoping they don't have, like, Assassin's Trophy, I guess. Winding Constrictor, yeah, that's fine. Well, I mean, it's not really fine, but it's gonna happen. Nope, no attacks here. This does actually threaten to kill them very quickly. 12, 14, 16. We have 18 power on board right now. That is ridiculous. Let's find out. Do you have removal for Master of Waves? Yeah, oh fuck, that's brutal. Alright. I mean, I guess we should have assumed that they had this in their deck even though they didn't play it. Alright, well this probably means that we're dead. That is effectively what I've learned from this experience. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah. Alright, I wasn't sure if this was all part of like that standard build or if this was a different version of the deck. But now if they just play like another land, they get to put 2 counters on it and kill off something. So I guess I'm just passing here. And if they use Ballista's ability or whatever, we just have to tap this down with the Trickster. So it only gets 1 counter on it. Alright, it's not hopeless yet. We can still theoretically win from here. Alright, so they go to 16. That's not nothing. Their attacks are not really great. So here's the thing. Alright, so this is going to draw 2 cards and then scry 1. So what's more important? I guess let's scry with Thassa first. I definitely do not want that. I really do want this, but Walking Ballista can still just kill it. Alright, well, let's make the Harbinger the Tide. You know what? No. We want to make the Tidebinder unblockable, because that's the one I don't want to be blocking with ever. Yeah, again, if they just play a land and then Walking Ballista, we pretty much lose. We lose a blocker here, and then they're attacking for a lot of damage. Right, 3, 6, 9. They have 12 on board. Yeah, that's bad. Not the end of the world, though. So what happens? Can we survive this? We're attacking them back. Definitely blocking here. So let's see. Right now this is 10. So we go to 2, and then we can afford to take 1 from Ballista. He's 2 blocker, so we can only attack him for 9 damage, though. That's the thing that sucks. This is a 3/3. I could double block this, take 8. And then he can't kill off a creature with the Ballista. Significantly less dangerous, but still pretty bad. Ratchet Bomb can kill off the Ballista. Okay, we're putting that on top. That was a sick draw. Okay, so if I kill off the Ballista, then I have actually a ton of blockers. I think that was like exactly what we needed to have a reasonable chance here. Master of Waves can theoretically stabilize this board by making a bajillion tokens. This thing does not have trample. None of these have trample. We got rid of the only trampling creature. What are you debating about this? Like, you have to ping me. That's your only option. Like, the Ballista's gonna die. I go to 3. Are you just in awe of my sick Ratchet Bomb tech? I'm glad this card is doing something, because it's giving us a chance to win this game. It was a very tough match, but I think this card helps a lot. Okay, come on. What is the holdup here? What like the mailman show up or something? I don't know. Maybe you ordered pizza and you have to go like pick it up from the door. That's. I am assuming that's the case. Yeah, I don't know why it is that the pause is here specifically, but yeah, we'll get 2, 4, 6 tokens off of Master of Waves, which are enough to block this and theoretically just kill them the following turn. Their 4 attackers are not going to be enough to get through. Unless they draw like another Ballista. If they draw like a land and then Ballista... No, they don't even need it. They can just play Ballista on 1. So like them having another Ballista kills us. They can kill off all the tokens and then just attack with everything that just totally ruins our board. I might actually just attack with Thassa here. So I guess I'm fine if he wants to block. He's only actually this is tapped down, so he's only going to have 3 attackers. If he wants to take 5, that's not the end of the world. Okay, there we go. So let's see if he wants to block first. Then we're going to play Master Waves. This should be enough, because now we can just like make these 2 unblockable and kill them. And the worst case scenario, we can throw Tidebinder and Trickster in front of this and hope for the best. If he uses like Ballista to kill this, I don't know if we could come back from that. Probably not. But we could at least try. Like maybe if we top decked another Master of Waves and made like 2 more tokens, that could theoretically help us get there. But probably not. No. Blocking is not really going to be an option though. So I'm not sure what they're doing here. If you have removal, you have to kill this thing. Okay, good. Ratchet Bomb, off the top, stole that game for us. Well, we were kind of lucky they didn't draw another land, so yeah, let's fix this right now. Sorcerer's Spyglass has to come in, I think, to name Ballista. I kind of feel like the Master of Waves is important to this, and you know what? Maybe Brazen Borrower is not very important. So the 1 toughness in this really hurts. I'll bring in another to disallow. But I think this is what I want to do here. We'll use Spyglass to try to keep Ballista from killing this thing, but maybe I don't want all 4. No, if we're on the draw, we need as much like catch up as we can. As much as vulnerable as it's gonna be, you know what? I kind of feel like against their really fast aggro-y draws, like that's the card that we're gonna need to stop them. And this seems like this is fine. We'll keep. Hardened scale. All right. Well, this is gonna be one of those fights. Witching Well. Bottom and bottom. We have a few turns to draw the 4th land. I don't really want to be doing it just yet. Yeah, that's a problem. You know what? Never mind. I take it back. It's not a problem. Just checking. Yeah, they kept 7 cards. Okay. Yeah, we're naming Walking Ballista with this. So do you want to hit me or not? Your choices are either ping me in the face or this is a 2/2. Okay, so it looks like they're going to ping me in the face. Why would you leave it as a 1? So what do we got? Your wastes forest. So Fatal Push is important to keep in mind. Let's name Ballista. Oh, these actually do show up here. Okay, that's good. For some reason, I thought this effect is one that didn't always show up on this thing. That was a really sick top deck, because that was like exactly what we needed to counter this nonsense. Now we can use Tidebinder to like tap this thing down. Yeah. They can Fatal Push the Tidebinder, and then we also have Harbinger and then Tidebinder again. Okay, well, they don't have any more cards in hand, so this is not terrible. So I don't think I'm going to bounce any of these things. Or actually, no. The other option is could tap this down. If they can still replay this and make this a lot bigger though. That's gonna suck. Experiment 1's the one that's really a pain in the ass though. I just don't want to get like if they draw a creature, then this is going to be a 3/3. I guess that's fine. I'm going to... No, but okay, I don't want to bounce this because, yeah, then they could just replay it and it's a lot bigger and scarier. Never mind. Yeah, because it won't be Tidebinder down anymore. Okay, so yeah, I have to do it like this. Harbinger, I am not going to bounce the Walking Ballista because I don't want to give it... I don't want to make it a 2/2. Actually, I don't want to bounce anything right now. I just want Devotion on the field. I guess I have to choose something, so I'll choose this. But I am not going to bounce it. And hopefully we'll just play Master of Waves, and then that will be good enough here. So they're in top deck mode at the moment. That was pretty brutal. Alright, so maybe Thassa first. We're taking that to the face. So do we play Master and get 5 tokens? Or do we play Thassa and start using Thassa to block and kill things? I think that's rough. They're not going to have anything that's going to be bigger than these, though, right? I doubt it. I'm going to play Thassa first. And then I think, yeah, we'll make Tidebinder Mage unblockable. Alright, this is how I'm choosing to do this. Hope that they draw a land. And not another Avatar the Resolute. Because I definitely want to trade the Thassa, or I want to have Thassa kill off this nonsense and take 6. Okay, scry one. Definitely not that. That's not bad. So they have 1 card in hand. Alright. This thing has trample, but you know what? That's okay. So I can attack them back for 7 at the moment and then have Master Waves up, but if they have like Assassin's Trophy, then that's a problem. Now I also have the option to just like Trickster this thing and then block here, which might be the safest thing to do. Alright, I'm going to go for that line. I don't need to expose Master Waves just yet, so I'm not going to. I think we have a decent chance at this. The Spyglass was on a critical turn, and scrying those lands off the top also very much gave us a good shot at this. We're not in the clear yet, but what is this? Whenever if its power is greater than it, that's fine. That doesn't really do anything. They have no cards in hand. I'll just tap this down. I don't think they were going to attack anyway, but I want to get the Trickster out. Okay, scry one. That's also very good. So again, and now any spell that they cast, I can counter it. Alright, so let's see here. Can just get in with a Tidebinder Mage, and then Thassa can block this, Trickster can block this. I can go to 1, that's fine. And I have a counter spell up for anything that they cast. I think not even Abrupt Decay is enough, because even if they Abrupt Decay this, I still have 2 blockers, so no matter what, I'm not dying. That doesn't actually do anything. Now here I'm gonna, yeah, here I'll put a land on top. And there's not really any need to attack right now. I'll just hold up the retort, pass. But this is lethal now. This is ridiculously lethal to them. Yeah, they're dead. You have to know that you're dead. None of these things have first strike. I don't know, we'll make Master Waves unblockable. They can only block 3 things. They are super dead. Alright, good game, opponent. That was scary. I mean, that was a very tough match. It could have easily gone sideways on us. Yeah, the Ballista on turn 2 was extremely dangerous, but the Spyglass was awesome. I think that card helped a lot. You know what? I noticed, like, Spyglass kept Master Waves alive for a long time. Maybe that's just what we need. Like, if we have the combination of Ratchet Bomb and Spyglass, it can just help keep it protecting Master Waves. So if they ever land the Ballista first, then the Ratchet Bomb can kill it, and the Spyglass just proactively lets us play Master Waves. So maybe that's a good way to approach this. I don't know. That seems like it worked out for us. Alright, let's finish strong. So far I like the Witching Well in this. It seems like it's working. Alright, on the play. So we're up against a Smitchler. Okay. This is okay. We'll keep it. We have a 1-drop. We have a counter spell. Can maybe bounce something with Borrower. Breeding Pool. Okay. I feel like Breeding Pool is normally good for a Spectral Sailor. Alright. I'm not particularly interested in trading with this thing. Actually, well, I might want to bounce it at the end. Well, no, bouncing it doesn't really do anything. It has flash, so... Oh, this is Spirits, huh? Well, this is one of the best cards to counter. So we're playing against Bant Spirits right now. So I guess they're not really inclined to block with this. They didn't attack, so... Okay. So whatever they play this turn, we can just bounce it and undo it. You can Spell Queller it if you want. I will even attack into it, because now Hypnotic Sprite can counter it. Now this is going great for us. What do you have here? Surely it's not Spell Queller. Why? You could have blocked this thing. I guess they didn't want me to play like Brazen Borrower or something. But they're just walking right into this, so okay, that's fine. They have 5 cards still. But I feel like we're doing okay. The Borrower still lets this thing safely attack into them. Rattle Chains, okay. Well, that's not really a big deal. So, let's see. probably don't have a lot of good removal for Master of Waves. If he wants to trade Rattle Chains with this Trickster, that's fine. We'll just put some more Devotion on the table. The thing is, Rattle Chains lets them play their other spells at flash speed, so if I get this off the table, it makes the rest of their hand a lot more clunky. Yeah, and this can be bounced at any given point, so... Okay, well, all of these are really good options. I think I'm going to play Master of Waves here. I don't want to attack into the Eagle just yet, because they might just block with this and then not block that. Like, they can go block, block, and then no matter what I do, even if I bounce this, it still trades here. I don't want to do that. I want to play Master of Waves while they can't Spell Queller it. Get a bunch of tokens on the table. They might have Brazen Borrower. That's definitely a thing. But they have to be very careful about attacking. That's fine. Hanged Executioner, I can just bounce it with Borrower, not a big deal. Let's see, how do I want to go about this? So 12, which means if I attack with these 6 things, they have to block at least 3 of them. And whatever blocks Master of Waves, I can just bounce it. But or even bouncing this, like, I just threatened to just wipe them out here, I think. I think an attack is good. Right? Yeah. I think I could just attack with all the elementals and these things and then see what happens. The Spirit is only a 1/1 token. This is only a 1/1. So, yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to attack with everything except Master of Waves. And then I'll just bounce the Eagle then afterwards. And then, yeah, that can just... No, I think what might happen is I might just bounce this Hanged Executioner so they can't exile Master of Waves. That seems smart. I'll let them trade off their entire board if they want. Yeah, you have to block more than that. You actually have to block at least one more thing. And then you're still in very much danger. Okay. Go to 2. That seems fine. Sure. Alright, yeah, let's bounce this so that you don't have any chance of actually exiling this next turn. And we'll cast Harbinger of the Tides in order to give us extra attackers. Okay, that seems like that did it. Spirits can be a very tough match, but it did not have the correct interaction. If you had, like, Brazen Borrower, that would have been very good against us, but... Fortunately, we had what we needed. Alright, so Mystical Dispute seems very good against their deck. I think we want all of those. And what does... honestly, the Flyers are fine. The Borrowers are fine. All of these cards are actually pretty good. Master of Waves can be very tough to jam, but if you can jam it, it seems strong. What about Ratchet Bomb? They have actually a really strong curve. I don't know if I really want the Ratchet Bomb. I think just threatening Dispute while casting these cards is fine. Maybe Maybe Tempest Djinn it can block their stuff pretty well, but at the same time, it's tough to get in with. Most of these are fine. Like, I guess I'll trim 1 Master of Waves and 2 Harbingers. The Harbingers can be very good, but they also can be kind of duds. I don't really want to change too much. I think this is all fine. The Siren Storm... Well, you know what? That's also true. The Siren Storm Tamer could be weak, but... Yeah, we have to mulligan this finally. This is fine. We'll keep this. We will put an island in the bottom because we have the opportunity to scry them on top. Look at these well. Look, the island well here and then this one are great. And then Trickster might even be able to eat this in combat at some point. That's going on the bottom, and unfortunately I think this has to go on the bottom as well. We need more things to actually stick on the board in order to enable these 2 dummies. Yeah, that's a problem. Like, I really need something that can bounce this. I'm going to play the Trickster in the upkeep before he can Spell Queller it. When they're on the play, and they have a pretty good curve here, so I don't know if there's much we can do about it. Can get in for 1 easily, but he can also just play another Lord too. Alright, this looks like Spell Queller's being left up. And if Spell Queller's being left up, then I think I'm going to attack. Yep, get in your attack first. They are winning the race at the moment, so this makes sense from their perspective. Attack. Now the problem here is if I play Tempest Djinn, then that's the thing they're going to Spell Queller. I think I have to play Thassa because this is the card I want them to counter. Because I need the Djinn to stabilize next turn. Yeah, okay. It means I'm going to get hit for more damage this turn, but there's no getting around that. And ideally we can draw another island next turn so we can keep Retort and... Well, I mean, the Retort's not very good against the Mausoleum Wanderer, I guess. If he has another Queller, then we're screwed. Alright. But yeah, this is... He can just sacrifice this to counter this at any given point here. Now his attacks become a little bit worse, but they still have tempo tools that they can use to get us here. And yeah, I can't deal with this at the moment. I'll try to counter it. Okay, yeah. That works. So I think, yeah, we are dead. Now, well, no, we're not dead. We're going to 1, but we may as well be dead. Alright, we're done. Nope, that was too much. The Mystical Disputes will help a little bit if we can find them in time. Being on the play for Game 3 is going to matter a lot. Maybe we actually want the Ratchet Bombs. If we can get them in and get them up to like 3, then that helps a lot. Take out 1 Thassa. She's not super great. Would I rather have Thassa or Master Waves? You know what, I think I'd rather have Master Waves for this match. Because I don't think that they're generally blocking most of the time. Yeah, I guess we just keep one. Alright, this is how I'm boarding against Spirits. Let's see if it works. Okay, I would love to be on the play. Yeah. No. If I had a well, I'd think about it. This is actually okay. Keep this. I'm going to put Harbinger in the bottom. They went to 5 cards. That's good. That means the Tricksters are going to threaten to get there. Alright. Got Wanderer. Okay. Let's see if they attack. Yep, we're going to Trickster and we're going to trade with this thing. Okay, pass, I guess. We'll try the same trick with the Spectral Sailor. Alright, this is looking very good for us. So we have 2 retorts, so we're basically just countering anything they do at this point because we're winning this race. Yeah, take 2. I think this is fine. I will let them Spell Queller this thing, because I can just Brazen Borrower on my turn. I also have the option to play the Tempest Shin right now, but I think this is the better tempo play. Yeah. Yeah, I can attack in because I have the counterspell up for the Queller. They really want to get as much value out of it as possible, but I'm just trying to bait them into casting it so I can counter it. Ooh, these are both very strong cards. I don't feel like I need Ratchet Bomb right now, but I think I'm inclined to just jam as many threats as possible at this point. get this in while they don't have Queller mana up. And then we'll play Brazen Borrower next as our next threat, so that way we can play around Declaration and Stone. This is an interesting plan. They let us untap, so we have Retort up. Nebelgast Herald. I would rather they did not do that. Okay. Nope, that's fine. They have each. They only have one card left in hand, though, and now, yeah, I think that we have more threats than like we have effectively 3 cards in hand, and they're all very good. They're definitely on the defensive right now. All right, pass. Like even just Master Waves here, it's really threatening. This Borrower is really threatening. Yeah, I guess if you're not blocking, you may as well attack. Sure. Two cards in hand. That's not very good for them. Alright, attacks. I will attack with both. I think I can afford to do that. But it looks like we're going to get this one. Yeah, they can't attack here, and again, now we're just going to cast Borrower. So I don't know what their plan is, but it's probably not very good. That's when a spirit enters the battlefield, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to Trickster this one down so it can't block or tap anything down. Yeah. So they only get to tap down one of my things. And they only have a blocker for one, so yeah, they're kind of in trouble. Now they have to block this with this thing, so... yeah, so that's fine. This turns off some of their options to block. Alright, they conceded. Alright, so we got it. That was a 4-1 with this deck. That was pretty good. So what was our loss against? I forget. I remember the loss, I think, if I remember correctly, had to do with like mana issues, right? Yeah. But no, I think this was fine. I like the Witching Wells in this deck a lot. I think that these actually added a significant amount of value to this, and the Ratchet Bombs did something. The Sorceress Spyglass did something. I think we used all the sideboard cards. I don't know if we ever cast Disallow, but I think we did bring it in a few times, so it seemed like it was okay. Yeah, I think this was a pretty strong list. The only thing I'm not sure about is if Hypnotic Sprite seemed like it was okay. But yeah, I don't really think I want to change too much at the moment. Like, maybe we tweak the number of like disallows or some of these cards, but this feels like it was pretty strong. And we even beat Hardened Scales like when they had Ballista out, the Spyglasses were clutch against that. So there's a possibility we might want even more of these, but the Spyglass deals with Ballista, whereas at the same time, Well, you know what? I was gonna say, like, the disallow also deals with like blast zone, which is really important, but spyglass actually deals with blast zone as well. This isn't like Revoker where it can't name the land. We can actually name blast zone with this. So you know what? Maybe 3 and 3 is actually a fine mix here. These also deal with the planeswalkers too, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, I was pretty pleased with this. I think that it was fine. I do think that these Witching Wells, I'm interested in playing more with them. Yeah, the ability to scry to make sure that you're hitting land drops when you want to and not hitting them in the late game really, really helped. And we never really got to the point too often where we needed to draw the 2 cards, but having the option to do so was in fact very good. Because we had once you have like you play Witching Well, you get like your board established, especially with Thassa, and once you have like Thassa out, you have total control over like how many lands it is that you want to draw for the most part, and then you can set yourself up so that you have a turn where it's like, okay, I know I want to draw an island, so I go up to 6 mana this turn, so that way I can like play either like Wizard's Retort or Merfolk Trickster, and also crack this Witching Well. Stuff like that seems like it's really strong. Then you get to draw 2 cards. Yeah, drawing 2 cards in the late game just seems like it's pretty good. But being even as just like a Scry 2 Devotion enabler, it seems like it was fine. Like it kept our deck on curve. So I think I am going to run these back for whenever our next Pioneer League is going to be. However, I think the next one the next league I'll play is probably Legacy, and I'm still looking at what build for Legacy I want to play. So I'm guessing Sunday is likely going to be Legacy, because I still want to give like Modern and Legacy some attention in this channel, but Pioneer is really new and fun right now, and so I'm interested in trying this, especially when we get to test out stuff like this. I think this was a success in my eyes. We went 4-1, so we've been on a streak of like doing terrible, but yeah, this seemed like this helped a lot. Like a lot of the games that we lost previously with this deck were basically just because we either got mana screwed or mana flooded, and I think, yeah, the match that we lost was like that too, where we kept like 1 land and didn't find a second land in like the top 4 cards. Like, yeah, that was after mulliganing too, so you know it kind of sucks. You go from 5 to 1 and then never draw the second one. Like that is like the biggest way that our deck loses, I think. But other if we can curve out, this deck is extremely powerful on curve. So I'm very happy to have a card that's going to help continue to let us curve out like this. And it adds to Devotion, which is so nice. It's not, yeah, it's not even like, you know, a card like Relic where it's like, okay, you can use it to draw a card in the late game, but it's just like a, you know, 1 colorless mana. And I know Relic's not a card here, it's just the first one that came to mind. But yeah, it's an artifact that costs blue, which is, it's actually strictly better for our deck that it costs blue instead of a colorless mana for this, so look, you know it was destined to be in our deck because it goes with our pretty islands. So, all right, well, I'm happy with this. I hope everybody enjoyed this, and probably next Wednesday we'll do more Pioneer, but then I think this coming Sunday I'll probably run Legacy. Or maybe not those exact days. It always depends upon what my schedule looks like and who's vying for my attention and when I have time to record leagues. But, you know, generally, like, weekend league is going to, or, you know, weekend / beginning of the week league is going to be Legacy, and then probably, you know, midweek one after that is going to be Pioneer. So that's the plan. I can't promise that nothing will change, but that's what I'm looking at doing for right now. If anybody has suggestions or requests or anything, please absolutely let me know. If you don't mind, give the video a like if you enjoyed what you're watching. The likes help. I try to also respond to comments. I read every single one of them. So even if for some reason like I forget to like say anything, I always read them. I promise. But yeah, I'm more than happy to discuss if you have alternate suggestions for things I should have done, or, you know, cards to include or anything like that. I'm happy to hear it, because there's still a lot of stuff I don't know about this format. It's still extremely new, and I don't know all the cards in everybody's deck. I'm just kind of making assumptions as I go along and hoping that the decks that I remember from when they were in Standard are mostly kind of how they're playing now. But you know, that there's no guarantee. Like, this is the Wild West. That's literally anything goes. You can bring any half-baked plan at this point you want and still probably have a reasonable chance of success. So yeah, that's just how it is. All right, well, I'm not going to ramble anymore. I'm going to end this right now. So thank you everybody for watching. Yeah, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, all that nonsense. Yeah, and have a good night.